I couldn't have done it without you. We're so proud of you, son.
This is wonderful! This feels so right.
It does.
I swung my bag off my shoulder and stepped into the house, my heart racing. Mom, Dad, I'm home. I called, expecting the usual chaos of greetings, hugs, maybe even a small celebration. Instead, silence greeted me. Alex, fetch your cousin some water, Mom said, not even looking up from her phone. I froze. Alex? My cousin Alex? The one I barely knew in college? I forced a smile. Thanks, I mumbled, taking the glass he handed me. His smirk made my stomach churn. Hey, big man, how's life out there? Alex asked, leaning casually against the wall. I swallowed the sudden lump in my throat. It's good. Really good. I just got my internship at a top firm, and I was thinking about launching a project. I trailed off, hoping for some spark of pride in my parents' eyes. Mom glanced at me briefly. That's nice, dear. You know, Alex has been helping around the house. He's really responsible. Responsible? I echoed bitterly. I've been working and studying for years, and now I can't even get a word of encouragement. Emily peeked from behind the staircase, her eyes wide. I think they're just tired. They didn't mean. Emily, come on. Do you see how they're treating me? I said, my voice low, more hurt than angry. She hesitated, then whispered, I think maybe they've been favoring Alex for a while. I didn't want to upset you. The words hit me like a punch. My own sister had noticed what I hadn't dared admit. I sank onto the couch. Favoring him? Why? What about me? I thought I mattered. Dad finally looked up, but his expression was distant. You're home now. Isn't that enough? Enough? I asked, incredulous. I've been gone for 4 years, and this is enough? You replaced me with him while I was gone. Mom sighed, putting down her phone. We thought he could handle things better right now. You know, life isn't easy. Handle things better? I said, my voice rising. You mean he's more convenient than me? You didn't even ask how I was doing. You just pushed me aside. Alex chuckled. Don't take it personally. You've always been a dreamer, a little soft, I guess. I just fit in better here. I felt my chest tighten. You fit in better? I whispered, anger mixing with disbelief. You're my cousin, and you're living my life while I'm gone. Emily touched my arm gently. I'm sorry. I tried to tell them, but I didn't know how. You deserve better. I closed my eyes, fighting the urge to yell. Better? I left everything for school, worked my ass off, and they're treating me like a stranger. Like I don't even belong here. Dad's voice was flat. We're doing what's best for the family. You'll understand someday. I laughed bitterly, a sound that felt hollow in the empty living room. Understand? No, Dad. I'll never understand how my family could replace me with someone else. I can't believe I thought I had a place here. Alex leaned closer, whispering mockingly, Guess you missed your chance. Huh. I stood abruptly, gripping the edge of the table. No, I'm not done. I won't let this go. You'll see. I'll make sure everyone remembers who I am. Emily's eyes shone with unshed tears. Just don't let this break you. You're stronger than they think. I nodded silently, swallowing the lump in my throat. The betrayal was real. The rejection was complete. And for the first time, a spark of determination flared in me. I may have been cast aside, but I wouldn't stay down. Not now. Not ever. I couldn't sleep that night. My mind kept replaying Mom's words, Dad's distant gaze, Alex's smug smile. I had left everything behind, fought through years of struggle, and returned to find my family handing everything I had earned to someone else. The next morning, I barged into Dad's study. We need to talk, I said, voice firm. He barely looked up. About what? About Alex. About why he's in my room, doing my work, taking my responsibilities, I said, struggling to keep my voice steady. Dad sighed. We thought it would be easier for everyone. You've been gone. Alex is more available. Available? I repeated, anger bubbling. You're telling me my years of effort, my sacrifices, mean nothing because Alex is available? Mom appeared behind him. It's not like that, dear. We just thought he could handle things better while you were away. Handle things better? I shouted. Do you even realize what you're saying? You gave him control over everything I worked for. My inheritance, my room, my responsibilities, gone. Alex walked in, perfectly casual. Whoa, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. I stared at him. You've taken everything that's mine, and you're telling me it's nothing? He shrugged. I didn't take it. You weren't here. I just filled in. I clenched my fists. Filled in? You stole it. Emily's timid voice came from the doorway. I think Dad and Mom thought it would be temporary. They didn't think you'd mind. Temporary? I snapped. Do you know how many sleepless nights I spent working to save money for this house? For school? And you hand it all over to him like it's nothing. Mom's voice trembled slightly. We just wanted to keep things stable. Alex, he seemed more responsible. Responsible? I spat. Do you even remember how many times I skipped vacations to help Dad with the business? How I spent nights studying and working 2 jobs. Dad rubbed his temples. We didn't want to hurt you. Hurt me? I laughed bitterly. You replaced me. You didn't hurt me. You erased me. The words echoed through the empty hallway, but no one said anything. Alex smirked. Maybe you're overreacting. I'm just trying to help. Help, I said, my voice low and dangerous. You're living my life, Alex. You're taking what's mine while acting like you're doing a favor. Emily stepped forward. I didn't want you to find out this way. That you never asked me to choose sides, but I noticed. I knew it. I shouted. I could feel it all along. The subtle jokes, the sidelong looks, the way they always praised you more than me. I didn't want to admit it. Later, I met Mr. Thompson at the cafe near my old college. I heard, he said, lowering his voice. Your family, this wasn't an accident. What do you mean? I asked, gripping my coffee cup like a lifeline. They planned it. They wanted Alex to replace you. They thought he would manage the estate better while you were gone. It wasn't about convenience. It was calculated, he said, leaning closer. I felt my stomach drop. Planned? All this time, this betrayal, they intended it. Mr. Thompson nodded slowly. I'm sorry. I tried to warn you, but you didn't listen. They underestimated how much you cared. I stared at the table, hands trembling. Flashbacks hit me like a hammer. Every late night, every sacrifice, every struggle I endured for this family. And now all meaningless. But why? I whispered. Why betray me like this? Sometimes people value appearances over loyalty. They thought Alex was safer, easier. They didn't see your determination, your strength, he said. Anger flared, then something darker, resolve. They think they can erase me, take my place, and I'll just accept it? I whispered to myself. No, I'll come back stronger. I'll make them regret this. Mr. Thompson looked at me, eyes sharp. That fire in your eyes, use it wisely. Don't let it consume you. But yes, take control. They need to see who you really are. I clenched my fists, a strange calm settling over me. The betrayal was total. The anger was raw, but beneath it a new thought formed, burning hotter than any hurt. I will rise. I will take back everything. And Alex, he will realize exactly what he stole. I left the cafe, feeling the weight of betrayal like chains, but also the spark of revenge, lighting the path ahead. I walked out of the house with nothing but the bag slung over my shoulder. My stomach churned, and my hands shook. The city felt colder somehow, the sidewalks sharper. Every step reminded me that I had been cast aside, replaced by Alex, and left to figure out life on my own. I muttered under my breath. How did it come to this? Was I ever enough? A man at a corner store laughed at me when I tried to ask for a job. Kid, go home. You look lost. I clenched my fists, but didn't respond. Humiliation wrapped around me like a wet blanket. My bank account was nearly empty. My clothes were worn from traveling. I had nothing. No home, no family support, no plan. I found a bench in a small park and sat down, head in my hands. I'm useless. I'm nothing. Then my own family. They don't even see me. I whispered, voice cracking. A woman's voice cut through my despair. You don't have to look like that forever. I looked up to see her, mid-30s, sharp suit, and eyes that measured everything. Who are you? I asked wary. Mia. I own a few businesses downtown. And you look like someone who's about to give up. I just lost everything. my family, my place in the world. I don't even know where to start. I admitted, bitterness rising. She studied me, nodding slightly. Sounds familiar. Look, you can sit here feeling sorry for yourself, or you can start doing something. Survival isn't about crying. It's about action. Are you ready to act? I swallowed hard. I don't know. I've never had to do this alone. Everything I did for them. Mia's eyes softened, but her tone stayed sharp. Then it's time to do it for yourself. You're smart, resourceful. You just don't know it yet. Sit here, feeling betrayed, or use that fire in your gut. Choice is yours. Her words dug into me. I don't know if I can. I've never failed like this before. Good. That means there's room to grow. You've hit rock bottom. The only way now is up. Start small. Learn. Fight. Make your own rules. I stared at her, a mix of fear and curiosity swirling inside me. And you'd help me? Maybe, she said with a smirk. But don't expect a free ride. I'll push you, guide you, but the work? That's all you. You want revenge? You want success? Then prove you can take it. I felt my chest tighten, a spark lighting inside me. I think I'm ready. I don't want to be invisible anymore. I want them to remember me, all of them. Mia nodded. That's the spirit. First step, survive. Second step, grow. Third step, well, that's for later. But it starts with this, learning how to stand on your own. I walked beside her, listening to her advice on managing money, learning business basics, finding temporary work. Her words were sharp, practical, and unrelenting, but they made sense. She made me see that I couldn't wait for my family's forgiveness or recognition. I had to create my own path. At night, in a cheap motel, I lay awake thinking about Mom, Dad, and Alex. They think they've won, I whispered. They think I'm done. They're wrong. I'll show them. I'll rise. Mia's words echoed in my mind. Survive. Grow. Take control. The despair that had felt like chains started to loosen. I didn't have my inheritance, my family support, or comfort, but I had determination. And determination was mine alone. For the first time in days, I felt a strange clarity. I would start at the bottom, but I would not stay there. I would claw my way back. I would rebuild. And one day, when I returned, Alex would understand exactly what he had taken. I wiped the sweat from my forehead and stared at the stack of failed proposals in front of me. I don't get it, Mia. I thought this pitch was solid. Why did they reject us? She leaned back in her chair, arms crossed, eyes sharp. Because you're thinking like someone who expects a handout, not a fighter. You need to sell them your vision, not just your effort. I'm trying. I'm working nonstop. I snapped, frustration bubbling. And yet you keep failing, she said, calm but firm. That's because you let emotion cloud judgment. Business isn't about revenge yet. It's about strategy. I ran my hands through my hair. Strategy. Fine. What do I do? Mia smirked. You start learning. Every rejection is a lesson. Every failure is a step. You've been betrayed? Yes. But that fire you feel? Use it. Focus it. I stared at her, a mix of exhaustion and curiosity. Focus it how? I'm just one guy. I don't have capital, connections, anything. How am I supposed to compete? Resourcefulness beats capital every time, she said. You have brains, persistence, and now determination. That's enough to start. Days turn into nights. I worked from a cramped apartment, typing proposals, making calls, meeting people who barely gave me 5 minutes. This is impossible, I muttered during a late-night call with a potential partner. Mia's voice cut through the speaker. Impossible isn't a word you get to use. Remember why you're doing this. You were erased once. You won't let it happen again, right? No, I whispered, voice tight. I won't. One evening, at a networking event, I bumped into him, Ethan. Slick, confident, always with a smirk that grated on my nerves. You must be the new kid trying to play big, he said, shaking my hand with a firm grip. I guess I am, I said cautiously, studying him. You know, most people like you don't last a week in this game, he said, leaning closer. But hey, good luck. You'll need it. I felt a flash of anger. Thanks. I'll make sure you remember me. Mia, standing beside me, whispered, good. Let that rivalry fuel you, not blind you. Ethan's good, but he underestimates the desperate. Over the next weeks, I poured every ounce of energy into learning. I made cold calls until my voice was hoarse. I read financial reports, analyzed competitors, memorized strategies. Every rejection reminded me of Alex, of my family, of how I'd been sidelined. I turned that pain into focus. One night, exhausted, I slumped into the chair across from Mia. I don't know if I can keep this pace, I admitted, voice raw. I feel like I'm burning out. Good, she said, leaning forward. Burning out means you're alive. Burn out, yes, but not broken. That's where most quit. You're still standing. That's progress. I smiled weakly, realizing she was right. I had been surviving, but now I was starting to grow. Each small success, an investor saying yes, a deal finally signed, a pitch well received, was proof that I could fight back, that I could rise from what Alex and my family had done to me. You see, Mia said, eyes gleaming, you're not the same kid they left behind. You're someone sharper, someone who can survive and win. Keep this up. Make them regret ever doubting you. I clench my fists. I will. I'll show them. I'll prove they made a mistake replacing me with Alex. I'll take back control on my terms. Evenings became a routine of cold coffee, endless calls, and Mia's tough guidance. Every failure was a lesson. Every lesson, a small victory. I could feel my confidence growing. My anger at Alex, my betrayal, was still there, but now it was sharpened into focus like a blade. One day, I received an email from Ethan, challenging me to a business pitch-off. I smiled at the screen. Finally, I whispered, let's see who's stronger. Mia nodded. Good. Keep your eyes on the prize. That rivalry will teach you more than any book or lecture. I realized then that I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was learning, adapting, and slowly becoming someone my family couldn't ignore. Someone Alex would have to reckon with. And the fire inside me, once fueled by betrayal, was now driving me forward, unstoppable. I stared at the bank statement on my laptop and couldn't believe my eyes. I actually made it. I whispered, my fingers trembling over the keyboard. Mia leaned over my shoulder, grinning. Made it? You didn't just make it, you crushed it. First big profit. That's the kind of result that turns heads. I thought I'd feel different, I admitted. Proud, sure, but also satisfied. But all I feel is relief and a little anger. Anger? Mia raised an eyebrow. Yeah, I said, jaw tight. Anger at them, my family. They thought they could replace me, push me aside, and I'd just accept it. Now, they'll hear about this. She smiled knowingly. Good. Let that fire drive you. But don't let it blind you. Keep your focus on growth. Let the results speak. I couldn't stop myself from sending a quick message to Emily. I made my first big deal. You'll hear soon. Her reply was almost immediate. I'm proud of you. Really. I wish I had said something before. I leaned back, a bittersweet smile on my face. She regrets it, Mia. She regrets not standing up for me. You can't fix the past, Mia said. But you can change the future. The office buzzed around me. My small team of interns and newly hired employees were moving fast, fueled by excitement and deadlines. One of them, a young analyst, approached me nervously. Sir, the partnership just cleared. Profit is over 5 figures. You're officially a success. I nodded slowly. Good. Very good. Make sure all reporting is accurate. I want nothing left to chance. Sir, you're inspiring, she said, and I realized how far I had come. From broke, humiliated, and hopeless to this, someone in control. Later, I got a call from Ethan. Heard the news. Congratulations, newbie. Seems like you're not as helpless as you looked. I smirked, leaning back in my chair. Thanks. I'm just getting started. You've got guts, he said, pause. Don't screw it up. I won't, I said, voice firm. And neither will you. Let's see who lasts longer. After hanging up, I allowed myself a moment of reflection. I thought about Alex, about my parents, about the years they ignored me. They'll hear about this, I murmured. They'll see what they threw away. Emily stopped by the office later that day, her eyes hesitant. I wanted to say congrats in person, she said quietly. I gestured to the chair across from my desk. Sit. It's been a long road. She smiled faintly. I'm sorry. I should have said something sooner. I didn't know how to. Don't, I said softly. Don't dwell on the past. I needed to do this for me, not for anyone else. But I'm glad you're here now. Her eyes glistened. You've changed. You're stronger. I didn't see it before. I leaned back, fingers interlaced. Yeah, I guess pain teaches you a lot. Betrayal teaches you more, but also sharpens you, makes you focus. Every setback was a lesson I didn't ask for, but I'm learning from them all. A message popped up from one of my partners, meeting tomorrow with bigger investors. They want to expand your project nationwide. I felt a thrill, a surge of excitement I hadn't experienced in years. Mia, it's working. We're growing. Bigger than I imagined. She smiled. And they said you couldn't do it alone. Look at you now. Keep pushing. Keep learning. Keep growing. This is just the beginning. I stared out the office window, city lights stretching into the night. My mind wandered to home, to Alex lounging in the comfort that once was mine, to Mom and Dad, probably gossiping about my failure. Soon they'd see. Soon, everything would shift. The fire in my chest burned brighter than ever. I'll show them, I whispered to myself. I'll show Alex. I'll show my family. I'll take back control on my terms. No shortcuts. No apologies. Just results. And for the first time in a long while, I felt that satisfaction, the kind that comes not from revenge, but from proving to myself that I could rise no matter what the world threw at me. I stepped out of the cab and stared at the familiar driveway. The house looked the same, but something had changed. I had changed. I smoothed my suit and whispered, time to see how they handle the real me. The front door opened before I could knock. Alex grinned, hands on his hips. Well, look who decided to show up. I thought you were gone for good. I smiled faintly. Just visiting. Thought I'd check in on things, see how the house is doing without me. Mom appeared from the hallway, her smile tight. We didn't expect you back so soon. I've been busy, I said lightly, letting my gaze drift over her and Dad. Lots of things to take care of. I thought I'd see if Alex's management skills lived up to their reputation. Alex laughed. Oh, I'm doing great. The house, the business, it's all running smoothly. You're a little late to the party, don't you think? I leaned against the doorway, calm. Smoothly? Let's see. I spent the next hour walking through the house, observing subtle changes, Alex's personal touches, the staff's slightly nervous smiles, the way Emily avoided looking me directly in the eye. I spoke casually, but every word was measured, testing reactions. Emily, I said softly, pausing in the kitchen. I hear you've been handling some of the household finances? She flushed, caught off guard. I'm trying to help where I can. Interesting, I murmured. Seems Alex left a few things messy, yes? She bit her lip. Maybe a little. I smiled faintly. Not a problem. Just making notes. Later, I met the housekeeper, Mrs. Patel, in the hall. Everything running okay? I asked innocently. Oh, yes, sir. Mostly. Alex, he's learning, she said carefully, glancing toward Alex. Learning, I repeated, letting my tone carry a hint of amusement. And how is he doing with the finances? She hesitated. He's trying, sir. But some things are slipping through. I nodded, my mind racing. Good. Let them feel a little instability. Just a hint. Alex finally caught up with me in the living room. So you're back to gloat? Or did you actually miss your family? I smirked. Neither. I'm here to see if everything runs as well as you say. And maybe to remind everyone who actually built the foundation here. Alex's smirk faltered slightly, but he masked it. Foundation, huh? Funny, I didn't realize anyone left cracks behind. Everything's solid. Solid, I said, folding my arms. We'll see. I spent the evening casually asking questions, letting conversations drift to business and property decisions. Every slip, every hesitation Alex made, I noted. Every compliment from neighbors about how things had changed or improved under Alex's management felt hollow. I let it simmer. Later, Emily found me in the study. You're different, she said softly. Stronger. I didn't know you could handle all this on your own. I looked at her, tone gentle. I had to. I lost everything to get here, Emily. But I'm not done. Not by a long shot. Alex, he'll learn that you can't replace someone so easily. She bit her lip. Do you want to take everything back? Or just show them? I hesitated, staring at the family portraits on the wall. Part of me wants to destroy their illusions. But Another part wants to reclaim what's mine, with dignity, with control. They need to see me as I am now, not just as the kid they cast aside. Alex entered the room then, smirking again. Talking strategy without me? Typical. I turned slowly. Strategy? Perhaps. Or maybe I'm just observing how the real management works while you play house. He laughed, masking the tension in his jaw. You've grown cocky. Don't get too full of yourself. Things aren't always what they seem. I tilted my head, letting the words linger. No, Alex. Things are exactly as they are. And soon, everyone will understand. Later, a neighbor waved as I stepped out onto the porch. Welcome back. Heard big things about you. I nodded, a quiet satisfaction blooming inside. Thank you. I'm just getting started. I returned inside, closing the door behind me. The house was the same, but I could feel the shift. Alex's confidence wavered in subtle ways. The staff was cautious. Even Emily seemed more open, more willing to trust me. I felt a mix of excitement and moral hesitation. Do I crush them completely? Or reclaim my place with honor? I wondered silently. I smiled to myself. One step at a time, I whispered, let's see who really runs this house and this family now. I entered the study, files in hand, every step measured. Alex was sprawled in the armchair, smirking like he owned the world. So, you back to lecture me? He said casually. I'm here to make sure what's mine stays mine, I said, voice calm but sharp. Alex raised an eyebrow. You mean the business? The estate? You think you could just waltz in and take over? I don't think, I said, spreading the reports on the table. I know. Look at these numbers, Alex. Your management has caused inconsistencies, missed opportunities, and now it's all traceable. His smirk faltered. Inconsistencies? You're exaggerating. I leaned closer, voice steady, controlled. No. Facts. Let's go through them. Revenue is down 12%, client retention is slipping, and you've ignored half the contracts you promised to handle. Even your allies notice it. One of his advisors shifted uncomfortably. Well, there were some delays, but... Delays. I cut in, tone low and lethal. Delays that cost the company thousands. This is an amateur hour, Alex. You were given a position of trust, and you failed. Alex slammed his hand on the desk. I'm not a child. I've been doing this perfectly fine. Perfectly fine, I echoed, letting each word land like a hammer. You're acting like a guest in a house that isn't yours. You made mistakes, and now it's time someone with real experience fixes them. Emily appeared in the doorway, hesitant. Maybe we should all just calm down? I glanced at her. Emily, this isn't about calm. This is about clarity, about responsibility, and about who actually built this. Alex's ally, a tall man in a suit, muttered, Look, maybe we should compromise. I shook my head. No compromise. I'm not negotiating incompetence. I'm reclaiming control. This house, this business belongs to the person who earned it. And that's me. Alex laughed bitterly. You think a few contracts and a couple of successes make you better than me? I stepped closer, meeting his gaze. I don't think I know. You coasted on my absence. You assumed everything would stay yours forever. But it doesn't. I came back smarter, stronger, and prepared. Your arrogance is your downfall. One of the advisors cleared his throat. Sir, perhaps we can arrange a transitional plan? It might be less disruptive. I shook my head again. No transitional plan. Effective immediately, I take full operational control. You'll follow instructions, or you leave. Simple as that. Alex's face darkened. You're insane. You think this is about numbers? This is personal. You can't just. I can. I interrupted. Because I've been replaced before. I've been ignored. I've been cast aside. And now I make the rules. I don't gloat, Alex. I don't need to. The results speak for themselves. He stood, fists clenched. You're just like them. My family. Obsessed with proving something. I'm proving one thing, I said calmly, voice ice. I'm proving that loyalty, effort, and skill matter. Not convenience or favoritism. I've earned this. And you underestimated me. A tense silence fell over the room. I could see cracks forming in Alex's composure. His allies exchanged nervous glances, realizing the power shift. Even his smirk was gone, replaced by something fragile and uncertain. Do you think this changes everything? Alex said finally, voice low. Yes, I replied. It does. But understand this. I'm not here to destroy you. I'm here to restore balance. To show everyone the consequences of arrogance. If you cooperate, fine. If not, well, I've learned how to survive without you. Emily stepped closer. He's right, Alex. Look at the facts. It's time to face reality. Alex sank back into the chair, silent. His pride wrestled with the truth. I felt a strange mix of satisfaction and emptiness. The adrenaline of confrontation thrilled me, but revenge never fills the void completely. I realized the fight was more than just about him. It was about reclaiming myself. I turned to the advisors. Effective immediately, all operational decisions go through me. Financial reviews, contracts, hiring, everything. Alex will have limited authority until he proves competence. Understood. Yes, sir. They muttered, some reluctantly, some relieved. I looked at Alex one last time. Remember, arrogance doesn't equal power. Skill does. Discipline does. And respect has to be earned. He glared but said nothing. I could feel the weight of victory in the room, tangible and electric. Yet, as I looked around at my family, my staff, and even Emily, I felt the hollow edge of revenge. I had reclaimed what was mine. But would that be enough? For now, the power shift was complete, and I finally had control. I watched the news feed on my phone, barely able to contain a smile. Alex's latest business venture, his so-called master plan, was collapsing under scrutiny. Investors were pulling out. Public opinion had turned sharply. His reputation, built on arrogance, was crumbling. Emily leaned over my shoulder. I can't believe it. He's failing. Completely. Believe it, I said softly. Fact don't lie, Emily. The house of cards is falling. She hesitated. Do you feel good about this? I mean, really? I paused, considering. Yes and no. Vindication feels sweet, but seeing him struggle. I feel pity too. He was blind to everything, arrogant to the end. But still, he's my cousin. Part of me can't help but feel that loss is heavy. Mia's text pinged. Check the market reports. You like this? I opened the files. Revenue streams Alex had been managing were hemorrhaging money. Partners were dropping contracts. The public statements he issued only worsened the situation, exposing incompetence. Looks like the world finally sees him, I murmured. The truth is out. He can't hide behind my absence anymore. Emily shook her head. I feel guilty. I didn't support you before. I didn't realize how much he overshadowed you. I put my hand on her shoulder. Emily, none of this was your fault. I needed to fight my own battles. But I'm glad you see it now. That's what matters. The phone rang. Mia's voice was calm, measured. Are you seeing this? I am. Alex is losing everything. Good. But don't let it consume you, she said. This journey wasn't just about him failing. It's about proving yourself. You've done that, haven't you? I leaned back, letting her words sink in. I have. I've worked, survived, and built something real. Something lasting. And Alex, well, he underestimated me completely. She chuckled softly. Underestimation is the easiest mistake someone can make. Now, you're untouchable. But remember, your strength isn't just revenge. It's resilience, intelligence, and growth. I nodded. Understand. And seeing Alex fall, I won't lie, it's satisfying. But it's not the point anymore. The point is that I exist on my own terms. I'm not defined by their approval or his arrogance. Emily spoke again, voice hesitant. Do you think he'll ever understand? Really understand? I sighed. Maybe, but it doesn't matter. Understanding isn't required for me to reclaim my life. It's enough that I've proven myself. Later, I attended a small networking event. Several public and market figures whispered among themselves as I walked in. That's him, the one who took the company from Alex? One asked. Yes, another replied. He's sharp, decisive. Completely different from the cousin who was replaced. I overheard it and felt a strange mixture of pride and relief. My family, my peers, the business world, I have finally earned recognition. Not through arrogance, not through entitlement, but through work, strategy, and persistence. Emily joined me at the edge of the room. I'm proud of you, not just for what you've done, but for who you've become. I smiled faintly. Thanks. I needed to prove something to myself more than anyone else. Revenge was part of it, yes, but reclaiming identity, proving my worth, that's the real victory. Mia appeared behind me, giving a subtle nod. Looks like your past is officially behind you. Alex will recover eventually, maybe, but you've moved beyond him. That's what counts. I took a deep breath, watching the crowd discuss my rise. It feels different, lighter somehow. I've been carrying anger for so long, but now it's replaced with clarity. I'm not just the person who was wronged. I'm the person who rose, despite everything. Emily squeezed my hand. Do you think you'll ever forgive him? I thought about Alex, his mistakes, his arrogance, his failures. Forgiveness isn't necessary. Empathy, maybe. Understanding the consequences of choices, yes. But my life isn't about him anymore. I've taken back control. I've proven myself. And that's enough. The world continued, relentless and loud, but for the first time in years, I felt steady, anchored. I had survived betrayal, endured humiliation, built strength from despair, and reclaimed my identity. I sent a brief message to Mia. It's done. I'm finally me. Her reply was immediate. You've earned it. Now live it. I looked out the window at the city lights, a quiet smile spreading across my face. The fire of revenge had cooled into purpose. The journey had never been just about Alex. It was about proving that I could rise, no matter how deep the fall. And I had. I stood on the balcony, watching the city lights stretch endlessly. The empire I'd built wasn't flashy. It was real, solid, unshakable. I whispered to myself, I did it. I really did it. Emily appeared behind me, quiet as ever. It looks incredible. Everything you've accomplished, she said softly. I turned, smiling faintly. Thanks. It's been a long journey. Harder than I imagined. She hesitated, then asked, Are you happy? I considered her question, feeling the weight of years, the humiliation, betrayal, struggle, and finally, triumph. Happiness isn't simple, Emily. I'm satisfied, proud, but I carry scars, reminders of what I endured. They don't hurt as much now, but they're part of who I am. She nodded slowly. I'm sorry I didn't stand by you before. I should have. Don't, I said gently. I needed to walk this path myself. But I'm glad you're here now. That counts for something. Emily smiled faintly, a little hope in her eyes. Do you think Alex understands yet? I shook my head. He might never understand. And that's fine. My journey wasn't about him. It was about me, about proving my worth, reclaiming my life. He'll face the consequences of his choices, just like he always should have. She glanced at the city below. Do you forgive him? I let out a slow breath. Forgiveness isn't required. I've moved past the anger. Empathy, maybe. Understanding that his arrogance and mistakes shaped both our paths. But my life isn't defined by his failures anymore. A soft chime from my phone drew my attention. Mia's message. Proud of you. You've reclaimed everything that's yours. I typed back quickly. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. I leaned back, letting the weight of everything sink in. The sleepless nights, the rejection, the humiliation, it had all led to this. Not just revenge, not just power, but clarity. I finally understood that my worth wasn't granted by anyone. It was earned, built step by step, through perseverance and focus. Do you ever miss being the old me? I asked Emily almost to myself. She tilted her head. I don't think anyone misses that version. You were kind, loyal, maybe too trusting. But the person you are now? Strong, decisive, resilient. I think you've finally become yourself. I smiled, a quiet satisfaction washing over me. Yeah, that's exactly it. Not just winning back what was mine, but becoming someone I respect. Someone who can stand tall, no matter the obstacles. Emily reached out, touching my arm lightly. I'm proud of you. More than I can say. Thanks, Emily. That means more than you know, I said softly. I thought about Alex then, imagining him trying to rebuild his credibility, facing the consequences of his arrogance. A part of me had expected joy at his downfall, but all I felt was clarity and a strange sense of pity. He made his choices. He'd live with them. I had made mine. I turned back to the city, breathing in the cool night air. This is mine now, I whispered. My life, my rules, my identity. And I'll never let anyone replace me again. Emily smiled faintly, stepping beside me. You earned this. Every step, every struggle, it brought you here. I nodded, letting the finality of it settle in. I had reclaimed my life, my dignity, and my sense of self. Revenge had been just a spark, but growth, perseverance, and focus had become the fire that carried me forward. The night was quiet, the city alive below us, and for the first time in years, I felt at peace. I had proven my worth, not to Alex, not even fully to my family, but to myself. That was enough. That was everything. And with that, I finally let myself breathe, letting go of the past, embracing the future, and knowing I had reclaimed more than just wealth or power. I had reclaimed me.